Good evening, good evening, good evening. How is everyone doing tonight? So I said, let's go over a little business structure, okay? How are we supposed to be structuring our business? What are some different ways that we can protect our assets? If we are owners of multiple businesses, what are a couple of ways that we can structure those businesses? There is more than one way to skin a cat, right? There's more than one way to do something. So I said, let's get into business structure, okay? But first things first, I am having a 5-day business challenge. If you're ready to get your business to the bank, learn how to structure your business, protect your assets, what contracts you need, how you're going to market your business, how you're going to get digital products, you want to comment challenge in the link. If you like, well, girl, I just came on this page because I was bored, I don't really know you, then you want to comment bank, and I have a free masterclass this Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. But let's get into business structure, okay? So, first things first, I call this the business structure 4-pack, okay? So, for your business, we need to have an LLC or a corporation. We need to have an EIN number. We need to have a business bank account and an operating agreement, okay? That's going to be your business structure 4-pack. LLC or corporation, operating agreement, business bank account, EIN. Every single LLC or corporation you have needs to have that 4-pack, okay? So, let's do a couple of ways as to how we can structure our business. And I'll just start with if we have multiple businesses, okay? So I have Joy's Barbecue, I have Joy's Lashes, and I have Joy's Transportation. So let's just say that I have one entity that owns all those things. You can have, I made that confusing. Let me do it like this. 1, 2, 3. You can have each LLC just on their own. So I got Joy's Barbecue. I got Joy's Trucking. Let me change my pen. There we go. I got Joy's Trucking. And then maybe I have Joy's Lashes. So I have 3 separate standing LLCs. This is fine. If you want to have a parent subsidiary structure, okay? A parent company is going to be a company that owns other businesses. A parent company is going to be a company that owns other businesses. A holding company is a business or is an LLC that owns assets, okay? So the difference between a parent company and a holding company owns assets. A parent company owns subsidiaries or other businesses, okay? So if I want to have one LLC own all of my businesses, so this could be Joy's Barbecue, this could be Joy's Trucking, and this could be Joy's Lashes. I would have my parent company own all of my businesses, okay? Now, why would I want to do that? Hold on, y'all. Let me just make one, hold on. My little board was looking bootleg, okay, hold on. My board was looking bootleg. We got to get it together, okay. So this will be trucking, barbecue, lashes, parent company. It may be backwards, but hey, we gotta do what it do. So, if you want to have one entity own all of the businesses, you would first form your parent company. Now, you could form your parent company in the state that you're in. You could form your parent company in an anonymous state. Your parent company is not actively doing any business. It's just owning the other businesses, okay? So you can have the parent company own your different LLCs, or we could just have 3 LLCs. So you can just form 3 different LLCs, you're the member, or you can have this parent subsidiary breakdown. It's all up to you. There is no one size fits all when it comes to business structure. What are you trying to do? What is your goal? Everyone's goal is going to be different. But there's more than one way to skin a cat. So do you have to have one business own them all? No, you don't. I call this the bubble formation. You just have 3 separate LLCs and they're just working on their own. Now, why would somebody want a parent subsidiary ownership? Well, yes, I know it's backwards, y'all. I know it's backwards. It's backwards. It's backwards, okay? It's just going to be backwards. One reason why you would have a parent subsidiary is, what if you are in a high-risk industry, right? You may be in trucking. You may be in transportation. You may have a car dealership. You may be in CBD. You may have a tax preparation company. You may do credit repair. You may be in construction. You may be in real estate. All of those entities is considered high risk, so banks won't either lend the most amount, or they're going to require a lot of I's dotted, T's crossed, or they're going to deny you funding, okay? But one reason why you'll have a parent subsidiary format is if we want to mask that we're in a high-risk industry. So, if this was my trucking company and trucking is high risk, one thing I could do by having a parent company is I can funnel the profits of my trucking company up into... That looks blurry. Hold on. That looks blurry on my screen. Let me hear everything black. I can funnel the profits of my high-risk industry into my parent company. So, let's just say at the end of December, Joyce Trucking made $50,000 in profit. I could then move maybe $40,000 up to my parent company as a management fee. Okay, so as a management fee, I'm taking $40,000 out of my trucking company and moving it to my parent company. Well, why am I doing that? Because my parent company will be the company that I'm going to go and get funding on. But I got to have income coming into the parent company to be able to qualify for funding. So by having a parent subsidiary format, this is going to be a way of getting money out of a high-risk industry business into your parent company, and then you can get funding on that entity. So, another reason why you may want to have a parent company subsidiary format will be if you want to take a salary from just one entity, right? You may not want to run payroll on 3 different companies. So how you move the profits from the trucking company up to the parent company, you could actually run the profits of all 3 of your businesses up to your parent company, and then just take your salary from the parent company. If you want a simple business structure, you could just have these three entities here, just these three bubbles. It's all on what you want to do. Nothing is better, nothing is different. It's all on what do you want to do, what are you trying to accomplish, how much work are you trying to put into this. Of course, having a parent subsidiary structure is a little bit more complex. Okay, so we want to make sure that we understand, first of all, how we're supposed to run our business. If you run it incorrectly, then all of this stuff crumbles. Okay, so you want to make sure that I have enough time to make sure all my LLCs are active. I have enough time to make sure that I'm really running these management fees correctly. But I want to show you a couple of different ways as to how you can structure your business. Now, when it comes to assets, how we have that parent subsidiary. I want to see how good of a drawer I can be. So, a holding company is designed to own assets. So this would be a car, this would be a house, and this would be your trademark, okay? A car, house, trademark. Your holding company is going to be designed to own assets. I personally don't link a holding company to anything else. So, I know you'll see on Instagram, you may see, the holding company owns the parent company, and then the parent company owns the subsidiaries. I don't recommend this because if any of these entities, if the corporate veil gets pierced, if we are commingling funds, meaning from a baby business, we're paying personal expenses out the business bank account. If we have the LLC become inactive, if we don't have the proper license and or insurance, if this baby entity gets pierced, they're coming up. You never want to have the company that's owning assets attached to anything that could bring any kind of liability. So, for those who want a parent company and a holding company, you can have your parent subsidiary, keep that here, and then you would have your holding company here. I would keep those two separate. So if something were to happen over here, we can't go touch these assets. So parent companies own businesses, holding companies own assets. Parent companies own businesses, holding companies own assets. You don't have to have a parent company. You could just own your LLCs outright, but that's going to be the different ways as to how you can structure your business, okay? So, if any of this is like, oh, I want more information, you're going to comment bank in the comments. I'm having a free masterclass this Sunday at 7 p.m., or I'm having a 5-day business challenge next week going into all of the different ways that you can structure your business, okay? So if you want to come to my 5-day business challenge, you want to comment challenge for the link to be sent to you. So, when you are forming your LLC, and we have multiple businesses, right? Each LLC needs to have its own LLC corporation, its own its own operating agreement, its own EIN number, its own business bank account. That's going to be your business structure 4-pack. LLC or corporation, operating agreement, EIN, business bank account. So if I have Joy's Barbecue, Joy's Trucking, and Joy's Lashes, that's going to be 3 different LLCs. It's not just one LLC and 2 DBAs. We're making every business a separate LLC for this reason. We don't want a big pot. We're going to say that this is going to be Joy's Barbecue, okay? Joy's Barbecue has money in the bank. Joy's Barbecue owns the real estate. Joy's Barbecue is paying all of my personal bills. Joy's Barbecue is paying all my business bills. I then decide, you know what? I think I'm going to start Joy's Airbnb. But I want to wait. I want to make sure I'm going to make money with Joy's Airbnb. So I'm going to just get a DBA. And I'm going to run that DBA out of my LLC of Joy's Barbecue. The problem with this is this. Let's just say I put too much glue on the girl's eye. She becomes blind. She sues me. She gets a $2 million judgment. I only have $1 million policy. That means that the entity is on the hook for $1 million. But Joy's Lashes is not an entity, it's a DBA. So that really means that they're suing Joy's Barbecue, my main source of income. So now the lash client not only has access to whatever Joy's Lashes has, but they get access to the property and the money of Joy's Barbecue. That has nothing to do with Joy's Lashes. But because you combined everything, now they can touch these assets. So now the main business you have, the one that's paying your bills, the one that's having everything going, now we're, losing our assets. Now we're losing our cash flow. Now we can't pay our employees. Now we can't pay our bills. Now we got to have our kids come out of AU basketball. Our kids come out of gymnastics. Now they're out of private school. Now your spouse is upset. Now we cussing and fussing. Now we not having sex. Now we in divorce court and bankruptcy court, all because we did not want to form our LLC in the beginning. Okay, so if you don't want one entity's assets to be affected by another entity's problems, another business problem, you want to make sure that each business is separate. Each business is separate. It doesn't matter how big the business is. It doesn't matter how small it is. The second you're thinking about starting a business, we're forming our LLC. The second we're thinking about starting the business, we're forming the LLC. Not because the LLC is making a whole bunch of money, not because it's just this big conglomerate, because we want to separate all of our assets. So if one thing happens, it doesn't affect everyone else. Let me bring my cups up. So, for my people who have assets, you have a car. Maybe you own your trademark. Maybe you have some vehicles. If I have a DBA, I combine it with this other business, they can take everything. We don't want that. So what I want to do is, let me have my assets in my holding company. Let me do business in my operating LLC. Okay, so I have Joy's Airbnb. Joy's Airbnb owns 3 different properties. I'm not going to own Joy's Airbnb in the same entity that's doing business. Why? Any entity doing business can get sued. In business, you will get sued. It's business. Your employee made a mistake. You made a mistake. I thought the contract read 1, 2, 3. You thought it read 3, 2, 1. Now we're in a contract dispute. So here's my holding company. The entity that's just used to own assets. We're not establishing business credit. We're not entering into contracts. We're not entering into any kind of finance agreements. We are just holding the asset in the holding company. The operating LLC is doing the business. So if I have Joy's Airbnb, Joy's Airbnb is, signing the client up. Joy's Airbnb is collecting the Airbnb rent. So I leased my house out for Airbnb. It was a girls' bachelorette weekend. They had a twerk contest. They was on the kitchen counter getting it, fell and broke her neck. Okay? The girl sues me, gets a judgment for $2 million. I only have $1 million insurance policy. That means that Joy's Airbnb is on the hook for $1 million. they're going to come seize whatever assets Joy Airbnb owns. So they'll get the money out my bank account, but my homes, my duplexes, my hard-earned assets are separated. We're going to have a holding company, an operating company. There will be a lease agreement between these two. Every single month, the operating company will pay a lease fee to be able to use these assets. So when the lawsuit gets hit, we'll lose the cash flow, but we're not going to lose our assets, okay? It's easy to restructure, get a new LLC, get back going again. It's harder to lose all your assets. Now we got to come up with money to buy them again. That's why we never want to do business with an entity that has assets, okay? So, number one, our business structure 4-pack is that every business needs to have an LLC or corporation, EIN, operating agreement, and business bank account. A parent company owns businesses. A holding company owns assets. We never want to combine multiple businesses in one LLC for asset protection reasons. We never want to do business with an LLC that owns assets. You want to pull these assets out and separate them. So you have an operating LLC and then a LLC that is owning the asset. This is for asset protection reasons. When something happens, you want to make sure that you're protected. When something happens, you still want your day-to-day life to keep going on, right? One monkey cannot stop the show. So if you need help with your business structure, if you feel like I'm not sure if this thing is set up correctly, if you have assets and we are doing business with entities that have assets, if you have one LLC and 6 DBAs, baby, you are setting yourself up for heartbreak and misery, okay? So if you want to book a business structure consultation with me, you want to comment help in the comments. If you want to come to my free See at the Bank Masterclass going over business structure on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, you want to comment bank in the comments. If you're like, girl, I'm ready for it all, then come join my 5-day business challenge next week, January 6th to the 10th, and you want to comment challenge in the link to get the link to sign up. But business structure is the most important part of your business, okay? If something goes wrong, your structure is the foundation. Everything that you build on top of your structure, if the structure is not right, is going to fall eventually. That's why it's so important to not just form your business, but to understand why I have to do certain things so that when something happens, I know that I am protected. When something happens, I know you're not going to be able to touch my assets. When something happens, I know you're not going to be able to come and knock on my door and take anything, because something will happen in business. We just want to make sure that we lose the least amount in whatever happens. There's no way to bulletproof we can't bulletproof ourselves 100%. There's no way to lose nothing, right? But in business, you want to make sure that you mitigate or you reduce how much you're losing. Let me lose the smallest amount that I can lose. So it's easier to have to just kill one LLC, throw her away, throw the baby out with the bathwater, and just get you a whole new one and start over versus losing an asset. It's easy to knock down one business versus all 6. So it could be the same business if you have multiple locations. If I have Joy's Barbecue and I have a north side, east side, south side, and west side location, that should be 4 separate LLCs. Why? If I have Joy's Barbecue, I own assets, I own a lot of cash flow, and someone falls and breaks their neck and sues me, they're going to come take everything. Versus if I had a south location and a west location, someone broke their neck in the south location, I get hit with a lawsuit. Well, I'm going to lose whatever the south got, but the west is still going. I still have payroll. I'm still making money. I still have cash flow. I'm still paying my vendors. I'm still paying my bills. These kids are still in private school. Their wife still running around in Starbucks and Target off my last nerve, right? Life is still going on because I didn't lose everything. But when you put all your eggs in one basket, all your entities in one LLC, and something goes wrong at one, it's going to affect all of them. And that's what you don't want. And this is what gets most seasoned business owners in trouble. You got the business going. You making money. You have a name for yourself. But that employee made a mistake. Something happened. And now they're coming after everything that you worked and you slaved for. And that's when your attorney's going to tell you, ooh, we got a problem. Because you didn't have this, and this, where it's now going to affect all locations. What you mean it's going to affect all my locations? Well, see, you only had one LLC. But my CPA said I only had to have one LLC. Well, yeah, you could run them all out of one LLC. But if something were to happen, they're going to get everything, right? So can you do something versus should you do something are two different things. If you're on trial for murder, can you represent yourself? Yes, you can. Should you represent yourself? No, you shouldn't. So, multiple locations, separate LLCs. Multiple businesses, separate LLCs. We own assets in one LLC, operating in a different LLC. Everything has to be separate for asset protection reasons. When you're starting out small, you're not thinking about all this. I'm just trying to pay rent, right? I'm just trying to pay these bills. You are robbing Peter and Paul to pay Mary. So you're not even thinking about when my business hits. But if you're working your business, eventually your business is going to hit. It's going to be successful. You're going to start making money. And what you don't want to do is be so focused in growing the business that our structure is faulty. So everything that we put on this faulty structure, when something hits it, is about to just fall apart. So then all that hard work, all that effort, all that sacrifice, all that slaving was just down, it's just down the drain. Okay, so you want to come to my free masterclass this Sunday, you want to comment help. If you're like, girl, I'm ready, you want to go ahead and join my 5-day business challenge, comment challenge. If you want a business structure consultation to make sure that your stuff is set up correctly, you want to comment help for the link. If you want my 4-hour business structure webinar, you want to comment structure. But structure is the number one thing that you need to have together. Okay? Now, after we have our structure together, the second most important thing we have to do is marketing. Okay? Boom. Marketing. Now, I know the board is going to be backwards. Okay? I'm live. I can't switch it. It's going to be backwards. It is what it is. So just try to make out. I'm gonna write big. Try to make out the words that I'm seeing. When we once we get our business structure correctly, the next thing we need is marketing. Okay? People always say, I need funding, I need funding, I need funding. We cannot run a business on funding. Like, that's not how we sustain a business, okay? Because once you get that funding, once you get that loan, once you max out those credit cards, on the first, how you paying the note? Well, you're going to put some money aside when you get the money to pay the note. All that stuff sounds good. But ask yourself, can you really get 50 grand in your account and you only going to spend X amount of money and you're going to really be responsible enough to keep that money aside? And let me tell you why that's not going to happen. Because you have a business. A business is like a baby. It always needs something. So you gonna run the play and you get the 50 grand, you're gonna hold 10 on the side to pay the note, and you're gonna put 40 in your business. So you got the 40 in your business, you got the website, you got the inventory, you got the packaging, you got the equipment, you got the business. Well, guess what? The business doesn't make you any money. What makes you money? The customers. If you don't have a plan to get the customers, you're not going to make any money. So then when that rent is due, how are you going to pay your rent? You don't have any money because you don't have any customers, because you don't know how to market. So now we're pulling into our reserves to pay these notes, to pay these bills. And 6 months down the line, we look up, and now that $10,000 that you had on reserve to pay the note is gone. Not because you was in Chanel, not because you was turned up in Mexico, because you was really paying these business bills. So, funding, you can't run a business on funding, okay? You can use the money to help you get equipment, get inventory, but you run your business with what's called sales. Customers coming in and buying from you. Sales, okay? So for us to get customers in, we got a problem. We have a target audience. We got a brand. And we have a website. Website/social media. In order to start a business that's going to make money, you have to have customers. The way that you get customers is you have to be able to show people how you solve a problem. The problem does not have to be life or death. But what problem are you solving? If I am selling this cup, me just posting a picture of this cup is not going to sell it. It's pretty. If someone just likes the way that this pink cup looks, maybe they'll buy it. But you're not going to have sales coming in consistently just by posting a picture of the cup. If I go do a photo shoot and I go get a picture of me next to the cup, I'm still not going to sell this cup. Why does someone need this cup? What are the benefits of this cup? What problem does this cup solve? What makes this cup different than all the other cups on the market? So, when you're talking about your business, what problem does your business solve? What problem? It doesn't have to be a life or death problem. But what problem does your business solve? Once you understand what problem your business solves, now we got to figure out, number 2, our target audience. Where is this person at? Where is the person? Who is my target audience? Who am I selling my product to? Now, if you say, well, I'm going to sell my product to everybody, you're never going to make money because you can't market it to everybody. You can't sell your product to everybody. You have to have a target audience. Chanel. Chanel is a high-end brand that's going to charge an overprice for a bag. Chanel's target audience is going to pay $5,000, $10,000 for a bag to make sure at dinner, on date night, on girls' night out, when I go to a restaurant, I go to brunch, no one else has my bag. If Chanel were to go hire, I don't know, Sexy Red and the City Girls to go do a home marketing campaign, and they went to go do a buy one, get one free, New Year's Eve sale, Chanel will lose all their target audience because Chanel's target audience is only buying this bag because no one else is going to have this bag. If you don't know who your target audience is and you're trying to market to everybody, you're going to make no money. You're going to make no money. You can only market to your target audience. Now, that doesn't mean that someone who's not in your target audience won't shop from you, but you have to market in your target audience. What is the kind of way that they can receive their marketing? Are you a fun brand? Are you a serious brand? So if you ever follow me on Instagram, I'm more of a fun brand. I'm gonna have like little memes. I'm a little ghetto. I'm a dance. If I was trying to be a corporate counsel to a Fortune 500 brand, and they came to my social media, they probably wouldn't hire me because I'm not advertising to what an attorney would be like for a corporate counsel, okay? They want you to be real conservative, real reserved, real professional, and the way I market, that's not who I'm marketing to, right? So, number one, what problem does your product and or service solve? Number two, who is that for as your target audience? And you go put your business right there. I tell this example all the time. When I first left my law firm, when I first got out of law school, I worked for a tax and asset protection law firm, going over holding companies, parent companies, LLCs, all stuff I talk about on Instagram. But I opened up my law practice back in 2006. And back in 2006, entrepreneurship wasn't that big of a deal. So no one's looking for LLCs, no one's looking for holding companies, none of that was it. So I had to start my law practice by practicing criminal law. So I said, where are the criminals at? And 3 nights a week in my suit, I would go to the club. Now, this is before Instagram, before social media. Back in the day, you had to actually go out and pass your business card out to go and get clients. So I would go to the club faithfully 3 nights a week in my suit, passing out my business card to everyone who was talking to me, blah, 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 because what's happening in the club? What's going to happen after the club? A DUI, assault and battery. So I put myself exactly where my target audience was. As my business grew, I said, well, where are the real criminals at? Like, where is someone that can pay me $15,000, $20,000? And I ain't got to hear about grandma's check and moving this money around. They ain't tripping on it, right? So I then went to the #1 strip club in Houston, and I said, hey, can I pay y'all to advertise in the bathroom? So I had my advertisement on the back of the bathroom stalls in the men's and women's bathroom at the #1 strip club in Houston. Why? That's where my target audience was, right? What's happening in a strip club? Prostitution, robbery, assault and battery, possession with the intent to distribute. So, once you understand who your target audience is, who is my product designed for? What does that person look like? Once I understand who my target audience is, where are they in droves? Where is a big bunch of them? Where are they hanging out at? And I go put my business right there. There's a new cupcake bakery in our neighborhood, right? I done drove past the bakery 8,000 times. I'm trying to be on a diet, so why am I going to a cupcake bakery? My son comes home with this coupon for a free cupcake. Are kids the target audience for a cupcake? Yes. Why? They're going to have birthday parties, quinceañeras. They're going to have, graduations, game snacks. So the cupcake bakery in this new cupcake bakery in our neighborhood gave all the kids at my son's school a free coupon to come in and get a cupcake. Now, how many 11-year-olds do you know can drive themselves to a cupcake bakery? None. So the parent has to take them to the bakery, right? Now, there may be some of y'all on here who have some real good self-discipline, but there's not going to be too many parents that can walk into a cupcake bakery, see all the cupcakes and the icing and smell it, and then go get that one free cupcake and they get nothing. So as we're in there with the coupon for him to get his free cupcake, of course, I got me a cupcake. So that free coupon, number one, got the parent to get the cupcake. Now, I only have one child. Most families have multiple kids. So if you have 3 kids and 1 kid have the coupon, are you about to get that one free coupon and have them siblings cuss and fuss in the backseat of that car on the way home? No. So what are you about to do? You're now about to buy 2 cupcakes for them 2 kids. And you're going to buy a cupcake for yourself. So now that one free coupon got an entire family in for free, or whatever it is going to be the cost of the cupcake. And that cost of the cupcake would represent what we call a marketing expense. I'm not paying an ad. They weren't doing Facebook ads. Their marketing was, I'm going to give out free cupcakes. I got to get you in my door. The hardest thing in business is to get someone to your door. The hardest thing in business is to get someone to your website. It's easy to get the LLC and find a logo and your brand colors and find the product and get that's easy. The hardest part in business is to get someone to that door. So they use that free coupon for the cupcake to get you to the door. Now, once you get in the door, I love the cupcake. It's off the chain. So now when I'm at my son's, doing something at my son's school and I'm with the PTA moms and we're talking about, hey, who gonna go to Walmart, or saying something like, oh, hold on. Y'all, have y'all been to blah, blah, blah? Girl, them cupcakes off the chain. Now I'm talking about having a birthday party. Oh, well, where are you going to get a birthday cake? No, you got to go to boom, boom, boom. Now, does an adult get a cupcake? Book club meetings, sorority meetings, office parties. So that one free coupon that they gave to all the kids at my son's school is now going to generate customers for the different kids, for all the kids' functions, for holiday functions, for office functions. They understood who their target audience was. Now, would it make sense for the cupcake company to go partner up with Crunch Fitness or Lifetime Fitness or 24 Hour and say, hey, can we pass out our free cupcake coupon to all your customers? Well, no, because a person in a gym 9 out of 10 times is trying to be healthy and eat clean. So I'm not going to pass out my cupcake flyers there because that's not my target audience. That doesn't mean that there won't be someone who goes to the gym like me and still eats bad. But for the majority of a gym clientele, they're looking for organic food, for protein shakes and gluten-free and flavor-free and all of that. So that's why it's so important to, number one, know who your target audience is, and we just go swarm in on that. So we got to first know what the problem is that our business solves, where our target audience is. Next, we got to be on brand. You have to look like something. When someone goes to your website, to your social media, it needs to look like a real business. What does Walmart look like? What does Sam's Club look like? You mean look like a $1 billion company? Well, why not? Wherever you can compete with a big brand, compete. Now, I'm not saying you can compete. I can't compete with a Walmart's warehouse, but my website can compete with Walmart. Well, why not? My logo can't compete with Walmart. Why not? My social media can't compete with Walmart. Why not? My email address can't compete with Walmart. So no one, when someone comes to your website, to your social media page, they shouldn't know that I'm making my Kool-Aid, in my mama's house. They should know I'm a one-man show. When they come to my page, it should look like, oh, this looks like a real business. So that means investing in things that are going to make sense brand-wise. So number one, having brand colors. There is no red and blue. Every color has what's called a hex code, HEX code. so that your red is going to be F0028. So every red you use is F0028. You don't have a dark red and a light red and an off pink and an orange. And if my brand colors are red and black, you go to my page, it got green and purple. It's looking like a circus, right? You got to understand, I have to look like the big boys. I am in business. So we got to be on brand. All of our companies going to look the same brand colors. Wherever you can compete, you have to be able to compete. So that may mean if I got to start off small. But once I do get myself together, it needs to be able to compete with the major companies because I'm now competing in this marketplace. Well, I don't have that much money. Do you have 99 cents a month? For 99 cents a month or $12 for the year, you can have what's called a branded email address in info@yourbusinessname.com. So when you start your business, let's not be joyco@gmail.com. When you have a Gmail, a Yahoo, a Hotmail, an iCloud, a me.com account, you are screaming, I'm not really in business. You're screaming bootleg. You're screaming side hustle. You're screaming, I probably don't have insurance. You're screaming, she's definitely not bonded. You're screaming, I'm not the best of the best. Why? Because you didn't even have a real email address. And if you have a Gmail account, I'm not throwing shade. I'm just telling you, we gotta, when you come in these business streets, or just some things you just have to do that just come ready. Having a simple thing as a branded email address, we gotta just invest in that. Have less inventory, have a branded email address. So when I go to your page, I'm comfortable buying. When I go to your page, you're giving me big business. If I come to your page and you're selling, you do taxes and you selling detox tea and you a trainer and you guys, maybe what are we gonna swap? Like, what are we? It's just too much, right? On Walmart's page, Walmart may own other businesses, but on Walmart, it's just Walmart. So you want to make sure that as you're looking at these big companies, we're now trying to mirror what the big companies look like. That's the standard. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. I didn't say, hey, y'all, now before y'all start, go get your MBA. And I ain't saying none of that. I'm saying the blueprint's already there. We're going to follow what the billion-dollar company are doing because they're doing something right. So, branded email address, brand colors. Brand colors. When someone comes to your business social media, it's one thing. And it's on brand. It's not, I'm trying to get all 6 brands on one page. Now the customer is confused, and a confused customer doesn't buy. If any of this, like, girl, this is kind of making some sense, then you want to attend my 5-day business challenge next week. You're going to comment challenge in the comments. Or you want to book an hour consultation with me, comment help in the comments. So, for marketing, we have to be able to get clients to our business. You're not going to run your business on funding. You're not going to sustain yourself on funding. There's nothing wrong with funding if you know when, where, and how to use it. But starting a business, waiting on funding, that's not what we're going to do. We're going to start our business by getting clients. Go get you a client. Go sell your product to somebody. Sometimes we have businesses that aren't really a business, they're a passion project. I do consultation and they tell me I wanna save the whales. So baby, how are we gonna make money saving the whales? Well, that's just what I really want to do. I understand what you want to do, but you booked a business consultation. So I'm looking at what you're telling me as to how you're gonna make money. How does it make sense? Right? So if you have a passion project, that's fine. Let's find a business model to go start a business, to go make some money, to then go fund the passion project. right? But we need to make sure that we have what's called proof of concept. Somebody wants our product and our service. If nobody wants what we're selling, then there's no reason for us to go out and get into all this debt. You think that your peach cobbler is the bomb.com because your mama, sister, cousin said the girl was good. But you can't find one person on the street that doesn't know you're going to buy your peach cobbler. It may not be that good. You think somebody wants X, Y, and Z. If you can't find anyone that's going to buy whatever it is that you're selling, then you don't have proof of concept. So there's no reason to go invest all this money and we don't have proof of concept. Let me give you an example. I did a consultation and this guy has spent $200,000 so far. He started an app.
Oh my God,
Hold on. Corey Wayne Venison. This son of mine. He spent $200,000. He had an app developed. Most of the money went to the app development. And his app is a neighborhood app where you can find a babysitter and a barber and a hairstylist. It's an Uber. It's an Uber concept for a babysitter, a barber, and a hairstylist. So if you woke up one day and you needed someone to watch your kids, you can go on this app and just say, hey, I need someone to watch my kids. And then someone would contact you that could come in right then and there to watch your kids. If you want a haircut, you can just go on the app and say, hey, I want a haircut. And the app would send a barber to your house. If you want to get your hair done, you would go on the app and say, hey, I want my hair done. And then you would just, a person would just like pick up that job and come to your house. And he also had maintenance. If you had like something wrong with a light bulb or plumbing or anything like a little maintenance. And so I said, who's going to go on an app to go find a babysitter? Like, so you want a stranger? You think someone's going to hire a stranger to come watch their kids? And he said, no, it's not a stranger. So the app is only going to send someone in a 10-mile radius. So it's going to be like your neighborhood. Like people in your neighborhood is who the app would bring. And I know if y'all are confused, I was confused too, right? And I said, okay, let me just first make sure that I understand. So I need to go run errands. I need someone to watch my kids. So I'm about to go on an app and say, hey, can someone watch my kids? And because the app's going to bring someone in a 10-mile radius that's in my neighborhood, then I want that person. And he, dead serious, he's like, yes. And I said, okay, so do you have any kids? He said, no. I said, okay. I said, so do you think people are going to hire a stranger to watch their kids? And he kept saying they're not a stranger because they're in a 10-mile radius, so they're in the community. And I kept saying, there are kidnappers in a community. There are rapists in a community. There are child molesters in a community. Yeah, like, so you think someone's about to hire a stranger to come in their house and watch their kid and see? And he's, for 30 minutes, it was this back and forth because he didn't understand why someone wouldn't just go on an app to have someone watch their kids. He didn't understand why someone wouldn't just want to come on an app and have someone cut their hair. Well, baby, do I even like the way you cut? Like, your hair, a woman's hair, a men's hair, like your hair is like one of your prized possessions. Like everyone just can't do your hair, right? Like some people want their hair cut a certain way, want their hair done a certain way. I know for women, like getting your hair, it's not just getting your hair done. It's like, it's the whole experience. It's the whole salon flow and talking to your stylist and it's just a whole right? I'm about to have a random person from an Uber who's going to come in. Is she good? Well, and And he is like, because it's in the community, people want it. Saying all of this to say, that wasn't going to work. But he had already invested $250,000 without having proof of concept. Before you go and get all of the funding, before you go and max all the credit cards out, before you go and empty out your 401k, can you sell a smaller version, a cheaper version of your product? It may not look good. It may not have the right packaging. It may not have all this, but does somebody want it? Now, he done spent $200,000 developing an app. The app is fully functional, but who gonna hire a stranger to come watch your kids, to come kidnap them? It didn't make sense. But had he first done, forget the app, let me just work my own business. Let me just say, hey, come to this website. If you want me to watch your badass kids, DM me. And when no one DMs him, he would have understood, oh, baby, nobody wants this. You think that you do hair the bomb, but you can't get nobody but your mama's assistant cousin to come sit in your chair. You think you have the best ribs on the planet, but no one wants your ribs. Or every weekend, someone that I know keeps asking me, girl, can I get a cake for my son's birthday? Girl, can I get a cake for New Year's Eve? Girl, can I get one of your pies for my... If people keep asking you for these things, then that should be showing you, I have something here. Give me a me in the comments if you've ever gone to a restaurant that may have been in a little urban area, right? There's no branding. They're going to serve you from some paper plates or some to-go plates that they got from Costco. We're not even looking at the health inspection because we know they didn't pass it. The furniture is matched. There are no uniforms on with anyone at that restaurant. But them yams is off the chain. That macaroni and cheese make you want to slap your mama. That pound cake, the truth. When you have a product that's A1, your customer is going to bypass all the fluffy stuff. You're going to walk in, or forget a soul food restaurant, maybe there's a food truck, right? The food truck going to be on all four flats. No one's speaking English. But in case it is, baby, them tacos, off the chain. Off the chain. So after the party, you are going to that food truck because they have the best tacos, the best quesadilla. It's just the best burritos. I mean, the food just takes. So we are bypassing everything else because the product and or service is the bomb. If you have the Blue Magic product, if your product is the bomb, if your service is the bomb, people will look past all the other stuff in the beginning. Now, if I have a restaurant in an urban area with bars that's not passing the health inspection, mishmash furniture, I'm not about to go be able to take that concept and scale it. I have to now get it business ready to then scale. But I can run millions of dollars out of that one establishment. So, after we get our business structure together, the second thing we have to have is marketing. How do you get someone to your brick and mortar? How do you get someone to your website? That is the hardest part in business, getting a customer. That is the hardest part in business, getting a customer. Well, how do you know? Why is McDonald's, a multi-billion-dollar company, having all these ads? They got billboards, they got radio ads, they got TV ads, they got Facebook ads. Why? McDonald's gotta convince you they the best one. They competing with Burger King, and they compete with Chick-fil-A. That's how you run a business, is getting people in to buy your product and or service. So marketing